Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through yoga. We will practice together for 45 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any of the stretches that we work with today do not work for your body, please skip them. You can come on out and you can modify. For your practice today, you'll want a mat to practice on. We will do a variety of seated, standing, and reclining stretches. So if you need to adjust your screen, please do so. And today's practice is a lovely full body practice. So we'll work on techniques for relaxing the mind and the body. We'll increase flexibility and mobility and build strength as well. To begin today, I would love to start in a child's position. So we'll take some time to center in a child's pose. And as you take child's pose, feel free to have your knees together. That can help you to stretch your low back. If you'd like to take your big toes to touch, bring your knees apart, you can do that. And that's a little bit more of a hip and a leg stretch. So just giving yourself some time here just to land on the mat, to arrive. Giving yourself some breath here just to release the day so far. As you exhale, see if you can relax through the eyebrows, through the jaw, through the shoulders. Take deep, full inhales and exhales here. You might be able to feel your body gently react to the breath. Feel the back body rising on inhale, falling on exhale. And then if you feel called to, please set an intention for the practice. An intention may be to take this time to relax, to give back to yourself. Maybe to push yourself or release tension that you're holding on to. We'll begin to transition to table, finding your way on your hands and on your knees. We'll work with our earth salutations today. So these are a very grounding salutation. We'll flow through different variations. So a really nice back bending practice, a nice heart opening practice. To begin, we'll begin on the knees standing. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, child's pose, hips to heels, heart lowers. Ripple forward through the spine. We'll bring it to a knee down plank position. And then as you take your knee down plank, we'll want to lower with control. So try to hug your arms into the sides of your body. We'll meet down on the ground for a Sphinx pose. Let your hands glide out in front a little bit. Elbows in line with your shoulders. Maybe reach for opposite arms here just to make sure elbows aren't too far from one another. We will breathe. So really nice opportunity for that low back bend and that low back stretch. Feel free to stay right where you're at for a little bit more. You can press your hands down, elbows lift up, elbows wrap in. Arms can straighten, working with a seal pose. Feel yourself reach and stretch through the crown of the head. Lowering down to the mat. Let's take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, Press firmly into your hands and your feet, hips up towards the sky, coming into a downward facing dog. In your down dog, create a little movement here. We bend one knee and bend the other knee. Maybe shake and relax your head, yes, and shake and relax your head, no. As you bring yourself to stillness, let's rise onto the tippy toes and then gently soften your heels to the right. Try to press firmly through both of your hands. Breath takes you back to center, rising tippy toes, and then soften heels to left on that exhalation. We'll return back to center, rising to tippy toes, softening heels to the earth on the exhale. Knees will begin to lower. Hips to heels, heart will lower, child's pose. Rise up onto the knees, so a knee down mountain position, hands to the sky, hands to your hearts as you exhale. So that was one earth salutation. Let's try a different variation, hands up as you inhale. Exhale, child's pose, hips to heels, and heart will lower. Let's transition into our knee down plank position. We'll want to lower all the way to the mat with control. So let your elbows run towards the back of the room. Let's bring our hands behind the body. Coming into a yoga mudra stretch. So fingers will interlock, palms touch. You can also square through the wrists. Big inhale, lift and lengthen your heart and your legs off of the mat. Let's breathe here. So as you inhale, feel yourself lifting up, moving deeper into the back bend. And then with your exhale, feel how the body softens a little bit. Exhale, soften down towards the earth. Deep inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take an opportunity here to take our feet out to the edges of the mat. So we'll just work with a little bit of a wider downward facing dog. Maybe add a bend into the knees. Try to stick your sitting bones up towards the sky a little bit more. And then from there, work on straightening out the backs of the legs. Know that the heels don't have to touch the ground, but just moving the weight in that direction. Let's take our feet in line with hips, reset to our traditional down dog. Knees will lower. Hips to heels, heart will soften, child's pose. Inhale, rising onto the knees, full breath here. Hands at hearts, exhale. Big breath in. Let's reach the hands to the sky. Exhale, fold yourself down, child's pose. Find your way forward to that knee down plank position. Let's lead with the heart as you lower. So shine your heart forward, lower with control. As you land on the ground, let's take our hands in line with our shoulders. So tips of fingers in line with tops of shoulders, pinkies in line with the deltoids. Glue the tops of your feet down. Take a breath here. Begin to peel your heart from the mat. So we don't have to lift really high in this one. We'll aim to lift towards our navel. And we do that so that we can strengthen our mid back. So mid back can be a little bit more of a trickier part of our back to strengthen. But if we just lift towards the navel, we can target that area. Exhale, lower the heart down. Deep inhale, exhale, down dog. And then we are going to cross our legs in our downward facing dog. So let's take our right leg underneath our left leg. And then we'll try to line our toes up. Try to line the heels up. And then press the weight back and up. Soften the heels down towards the ground. We'll reset back through to down dog. Left leg threads under to the right. Toes in line, heels in line. Heels will soften. Maybe allow for your head to just hang heavy like a weight. Reset back. Downward facing dog, uncross the legs. Knees will lower. Hips to heels, child's pose on exhale. Inhale, rooting down to rise, knee down mountain position. Floating hands to heart as you exhale. Take a breath in, reach, stretch the hands up. Exhale, child's position. Let's come on forward. Reset to that knee down plank. Lowering down with control. Hands in line with the shoulders. Walk your hands out to the sides of the room. Be tented up on the fingertips. Elbows point to the sky. Glue the tops of your feet down and then begin to lift up. If you would like this to be easier, walk your hands out towards the sides of the room more. And you'll have a deep bend in the elbows. For more challenge, work on straightening the arms. And you can walk your hands closer into the sides of your body. Lower down to the mat. Meeting in downward facing dog as you exhale. Let's extend the right leg to the sky. We will bend, stack, and open. Little circling of the knee here. So just movement into the hip joint. And reverse. We will flow in the other direction. And reset. Let's float the leg back up. 3-limb dog. And then reset to our down dog. Left leg up. Let's bend, stack, open, draw some circles. And reverse. And reset. Back to down dog. Knees begin to lower, hips to heels, heart will soften. Rise onto the knees. Inhale, hands to the sky. And then exhale, hands to your heart space. Let's take an opportunity to curl the toes under. Sit back onto your heels, working with a toe stand. Hands to the sides of the body for support. One hand to prayer at the heart if you'd like to challenge the balance. Other hand will meet it. Imagine that you could lift your hips off of your heels. Try to lengthen your spine. Lengthen the back of your neck. And release. We'll transition to a forward fold. So gently plant the hands in front. Straighten out the backs of your legs. Shake it out a little bit here. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Maybe head shakes and relaxes, yes. And head shakes and relaxes, no. Let's take our hands onto the shins, half lift here. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. We'll root down through the feet. Big breath in. Hands in line with your shoulders to pause. Twist to the right as you exhale. So work with an open twist. So nice T-twist here. Maybe gaze off the right fingertips and just noticing if that helps you twist a little bit deeper. Inhale takes you back to center. Exhale, twist left. Maybe relax that left shoulder from the left ear. Create a little bit more space here between the ear and the shoulder. Back to center. Let's sweep our hands up. Big breath here. Relaxing hands to the heart as you exhale. Right leg lifts, working with a tree pose. We'll try for a balancing pose here. Toes can be on the ground. You can bring your foot anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable. We just don't want to place our foot right onto the knee joint. So below the knee or above the knee is fine. Hands sweep up, grow some branches if you'd like. Take an opportunity to connect back with your breath. Breathe into the stomach. Breathe into the ribs. Breathe into the chest. From here, we'll step our right foot back, coming into a crescent warrior. Right foot steps back. Right heel is lifted. Hands reach up. And try to feel that activation in the right leg. So actively press through the heel and the back of your knee. Floating hands into prayer at heart. Feel free to stay here. If you'd like to build onto the pose, you can twist so that right elbow hooks on your left knee. Encourage your prayer hands to the center of the chest. Feel your shoulders stack and open. We'll step the right foot forward, working with chair twist. Try to feel grounded in your feet and also even in the knees. So we don't want that right knee to come forward too much. Right foot steps back for a crescent twist. We'll slowly unwrap for a crescent warrior. From here, spring off your right foot. We'll take our right knee into our chest and stomach, interlocking the fingers and holding and supporting the front of the knee. Using a little bit of that arm strength, a little bit of that shoulder strength to draw the leg into the body, get that hip stretch, low back stretch. Feel free to stay here for a little more. Right knee to the right. Dancing Shiva stretch. Left hand to the left. Maybe take a mudra through the hands so the pads of your index and thumb fingers come together. Stay here. Option to change the hand. So left hand reaches for right knee. Right knee sweeps to the left. Right hand to the right, maybe finding that mudra. We call this one our chin mudra, yana mudra. Great mudra for cultivating concentration, focus. Bring your knee in. Let's hug it in one last time. Big step back for a warrior one position. Right foot steps back. Right heel will lower. Hands will reach up. Try to feel your hips and your shoulders square forward here. Right hip and right shoulder come forward. Left hip and left shoulder comes back. Right hand to your right hip. Left arm sweeps up and over, side stretch. Roll your left shoulder back. Right shoulder under. Heart shines to the sky. Reset to center. Left hand, left hip. Right hand sweeps up. Maybe encourage your right hip forward, right shoulder forward, left hip back, left shoulder back. Reset back through to center, warrior one position. Hands to the earth. We'll bring it to runner's lunge right onto the toes of the right foot. So right heel is lifted. Let's take our left foot to the left edge of the mat. Both hands on the inside of the foot. Right foot takes a big step to the upper right edge of the mat. Folding with your legs wide. Option to stay here. Maybe turn your toes out, heel shift in, bending into the knees, finding your way to yogi squat position. So sometimes if we bring more distance between the feet, it makes the stretch a little easier, a little more accessible. If you have your blocks close by, you could always sit on a block. If you have a blanket, you could always roll your blanket up and put it underneath your heels. Let's plant the hands. We'll extend sitting bones to sky. Feet in line with hips for your forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain, rooting down to rise. Hands in line with shoulders and pause. Twist to the left as you exhale, arms into T. Feel free to stay here, maybe left hand to the low back. Right hand sweeps up and back for exalted variation. You can just feel the palm of that right hand face down so you can get that nice stretch through the side of your body. We'll reset back to center, hands sweep up. Twist to the right on exhale. Right hand to right low back. Left hand sweeps up and back. And reset. Let's float the hands back up in line with the shoulders. Exhalation, hands to the heart space. Left leg rises, tree pose. In tree. Feel free to sweep the hands up if you'd like. Try to roll your left knee back a little bit to get a bit more of a shoulder and hip stretch. You'll just roll that knee open. Transition to a crescent warrior. So left foot steps back. Left heel stays lifted. Hands can reach up. Come back to your breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Hands into prayer at heart. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist your heart to the right side of the room. Left elbow hooks on your right knee. In time, encourage your prayer hands to the center of the chest. Left foot steps forward, chair with a twist. Left hip tends to shift forward in this one. So you might just take that left hip crease and pull it back a little bit. Step your left foot back, crescent twist. And then we'll slowly unwind crescent warrior. We'll spring off that left foot. Left knee comes up into chest, into stomach, fingers interlock, support the front of the knee. Can you gently relax your shoulders away from your ears here? Left knee to the left, dancing Shiva. Try to feel that the hips are even here. We don't want this left hip to lift and rise up too much. So create that mind-body awareness and connection. Left knee floats through center. Right hand reaches for left knee. Twist. Left hand can float to the left. Maybe gaze off the left fingertips. Knee comes back to center. We can pull our knee into chest, into stomach. Step your foot back. We'll land in warrior one position here. Left foot back. Left heel lowers. Hands reach up. And then feel activation in the hands. Reach and stretch through your fingertips. Let your palms face one another. Let's bring our left hand to the left hip. Right hand sweeps up and over. Breathe in, realign the spine through center. Right hand, right hip. Left hand up and over. Imagine you could create a little bit of space between the ribs as you breathe here. Reset to warrior one position. Hands begin to lower down. Runner's lunge. Right foot to the right edge of mat. Both hands to the inside of the foot. Left foot to the upper left edge of the mat. Feel free to stay here. Option to draw the toes out. Heels will shift in. Bend into the knees. Hips drop back and down. Hands to prayer at heart space. Utilize your blocks here. Stay here. Option for a twist. We'll take our right arm in front of the right knee. Left hand spins open. Reset back, yogi squat. Left arm in front of the left leg. Right hand reaches up. And reset. Let's release to a fold. We'll plant the hands, straighten out the backs of the legs. Walk your feet in a little bit so feet are in line with your hips. Left leg takes a step back for a runner's lunge position. Walk your right foot to the right edge of the mat. Both hands to the inside of the foot. Feel free to stay here. Maybe lower your left knee down. That makes it a little easier. You can stay on your hands. If you'd like a little more stretch, drop down onto the forearms. We'll take time to work with a pose called lizard, gecko pose. Really nice stretch for your legs, for your hips, for your low back. For alignment, just be sure that your right knee and your right ankle are in the same line. We don't want to feel that knee moving too far forward here. Nice deep inhale through nose. Nice deep exhale through the nose. And then to release, let's press down firmly into the hands. We will curl our left toes under. Walk your hands to the center of your yoga mat. You'll pause in the middle. Line your toes up, line your heels up. Maybe shake out the legs a little bit here. Bend one knee, bend the other. Maybe head shakes yes, and maybe the head shakes no. Let's take stillness here. Hands float in front, transitioning to a down dog with your legs wide. Try to bring the weight back into your heels. Let your toes be light. And then almost that feeling like your toes could just lift from the ground. Hands gently walk into the body, and then we'll gently walk those hands underneath the body. Working our way to a fold that's a bit deeper. Draw your weight into your toes. Let the heels be light. And reset back to wide-legged fold. Walk your hands to the left. We will begin to frame our back foot. And as you take a runner's lunge, let's take our left foot to the left edge of the mat. Both hands to the inside of the foot. We'll lower that back knee down. You can stay on your hands, maybe drop down onto the forearms. You'll just be facing the back of the mat here, finding lizard pose, finding gecko stretch. I know that this stretch can be very intense leg, hip, low back stretch. But just remembering to use your breath. Breathe deeply. And then pressing down into the hands. Curl your right toes under, right knee lifts up. Walk your hands off to the right. We will pause in the middle. Let's have toes in line, heels in line. Right hand plants in front of the face. Left hand lifts to the sky on exhale. Hand in the air or wrap your arm around your low back. Reach for the other hip crease. Take a half bind here. Realign back to center to fold. Left hand plants, right hand lifts. Hand in the air, half bind if you'd like. Maybe press a little bit more weight into that left foot to help lift the left hip up, helping to balance the hips and the low back. And release. Let's walk our hands to frame the right foot at the top of the mat. We'll transition to that runner's lunge facing forward. Step yourself back to plank, high push-up pose. Moving towards up dog, but holding our up dog, knees up or down your preference. Lower down chaturanga, upward facing dog. Gaze off your right shoulder. Give yourself a little deeper hip flexor psoas stretch here. Back to center, realign. Gaze off opposite shoulder. And then back to our up dog. Down dog on exhalation. Knees begin to lower. Tabletop. Sweep your feet to the right or to the left. Seated position. Let's take an opportunity to extend the legs out in front. Flex your feet. Press through heels, backs of knees. Fold on your exhalation. As you fold here, maybe just feel the breath gently guiding you into the stretch. As you exhale, feel your heart, feel your stomach lower down. Maybe also try to relax the head. We have so many little muscles. They work so hard to hold the head up. In a stretch like this, we can just let the head relax. We can let the head release. Coming up to a neutral spine. Transition onto your back body. Float your knees into your chest. Arms, hands around knees or shins. Gentle rock to the right and to the left. Legs will extend to the sky. Hands reach the sky as well. Gently circle your ankles. Circle your wrists. And reverse. Flow in the other direction. Let's take a moment to hold stillness. Fingers can reach and stretch up. Let's take our toes, point them. Create that activation in the legs. Maybe close the eyes. Feel the back of head and neck getting heavy. Feel the shoulder blades dropping and sinking into the mat. Feel the melt of the upper, mid, and low back. Knees into chest. Gentle rock to right, to left. Transitioning to relaxation pose, moving into Shavasana. If you feel the need to take a final stretch or a final pose, please do so. If you need to grab any props to let your body be comfortable, please do that as well. Just give yourself this time to bring the practice together. A moment to deepen the breath. Maybe wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Feel your mind relax, calm at ease. Feel your body aligned and balanced. Noticing the effects of yoga on your mind and on your body. Roll to your side. Find a fetal position. Meet up in a comfortable seated pose. Hands at heart in prayer and practice with gratitude. Take a moment to think of something in your life that you are truly grateful for. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed the practice. Please leave me any comments or feedback in the chat. I look forward to being back on Wednesday at 5:30 East Coast time. We will have Pilates for 30 minutes, the newer class to the schedule. I hope that you can join. I'm also here on Mondays at 3 o'clock. We do mindful stretch. It's 15-minute practice. I hope that you have a beautiful day today, and I look forward to seeing you soon.